Hey guys, what is up? This is Swift here for Chinese Tech, and today I am doing a review for a device, a tablet that I've unboxed months ago. So this is the Onda V975W Windows-based tablet review, and better now than never. I'm sorry again for the delay, and anyway, let's get straight into it. As always, I'm going to start off with some of the specifications. Firstly, this is by Onda. It's the V975W. There are a lot of variations, some with dual boot, some with Android itself only. So you have to make sure that you know what you're buying. So in terms of dimensions, it's 241 by 169, and it's 8.5 mm thick. Alright, it does not support 3G network, but it does support Wi-Fi, although it only supports up to I believe it's wireless N 2.4 gigahertz. In terms of display size, this is a 9.7 inch display, sporting a resolution, the Retina resolution of 1536 by 2048. That is a ratio of 4:3. So yes, this is IPS LCD, and it looks gorgeous. I'm going to show you that in a while. In terms of hardware, this device is powered by the Intel Atom Z3735F, and the GPU itself is the integrated Intel HD graphics itself, which is really cool because you can actually play games on this, and it would run less graphically intensive games very smoothly, which I will show you in a while. So that's really cool. In terms of memory, it has 2 gigs of RAM, very awesome. And in terms of ROM, they come in 2 versions, either 16 or 32 gigs, both of which I believe is not sufficient enough, especially considering that Windows OS itself take up so much space already, and all your applications that you want to install, it's going to take up a lot of space as well. So that is one issue. Of course, there is the micro SD card expansion slot at the top that you can plug in up to, I believe they write there officially 32 gigs, but I do believe I have a 64 gigabyte card inside right now, and it works and reads perfectly fine. So that's for that. Do note, however, that I find it impossible to actually install any software or applications onto the external storage. The device itself will not load properly. I'm not sure why exactly. So yeah, that is the micro SD card expansion slot will only be for your data files and files that you want to access, but not to put your installation files, or as in you install your softwares or applications or any games on it. It's not going to work properly. Yes, this tablet also has 2 cameras, one in the front, which is a 2.0 megapixel camera, and another at the back, which is a 5 megapixel camera. You can see over here, both of which are absolutely horrendous, so do not expect to take very beautiful pictures with it or videos at all. The video recording only takes up to 15 frames per second for full HD resolution. Not sure how to change the resolution down, anything like that, but it looks absolutely a garbage. So the only time where you will use it is basically you want to take quick notes of things on the whiteboard, or your meeting or drawings and whatever. This would definitely help. But if you're going to take like scenery and family photos, do not use this as your camera. Alright, so it supports also OTG, USB OTG at the top, and they do provide the OTG cable, and I tried it with my hard drive, my portable hard drive, and it works perfectly fine. You can use it with your mouse and whatever, right? It will work perfectly well. In terms of battery, this has a 7,800 mAh battery. Pretty good. It supports Bluetooth 4.0, I believe, and he also has a HDMI out. All of this right at the top over here. Let's see if we can focus. There we go. So I should show you this earlier anyway. So we have here the microphone jack, your micro USB slot. This is for your USB OTG, as well as charging and your syncing, whatever. This here is the display out. There's a mini HDMI port, so if you want extra displays, you can do that as well. And this is your external storage, right? So I have a 64 gig card right inside. So at the side, I'll show you that's where the power buttons and what you call it, the volume rocker is, right? So let's go into my thoughts of this particular device. Now, I'm going to show you here. Now, of course, the light on this is not going to take too well, but you have to take my word for it. But I've worked the review, of course, not this video, but I've worked the review, typing it out, the written review on this particular device, and it works perfectly fine. I alternate tab between different web pages, so on and so forth, and it all works perfectly fine. You can see here, it is a Windows full Windows 8.1 tablet, and it's awesome, right? If you really need, say, set the brightness up. If you need a very portable device and you want to make use of all your what you call it, your desktop environment kind of stuff, like your Microsoft Word, your Microsoft Excel, this device will help you to do all the light workload. It will handle up to light workload, such as typing documents and whatnot. This will definitely help you. However, if you're looking to do something a little heavier, say like Excel sheets with lots of macros and lots of formulas and things like that, this device will slow down. I did open a Excel sheet that is rather huge, a lot of data, and it took some time for it to load, and the scrolling is a little bit sluggish. But yes, it can handle it, but it's not optimal, right? So in terms of productivity, this tablet can do light workload, especially for myself. I'm currently studying, and it's very helpful. You know, you can bring this light device rather than my heavy laptop, and I can just take down notes and whatever. It works perfectly fine. Of course, I do have a physical keyboard with me, so if you are serious into using this as a productivity device, you will have to buy one of the Bluetooth keyboards, which wouldn't cost much. Anyways, so that's in terms of productivity. In terms of multimedia, everything plays perfectly fine. I use VLC media player, as you can see here, and it runs my 720p videos perfectly fine, right? No issues at all, no lag, no anything like that. I have a problem with this device though, and that is the Wi-Fi. Now, the Wi-Fi strength on this device is pretty weak. Now, if you have a good signal, let's say we have a good signal strength, the speed is decent, right? But if you move slightly further away or have any obstructions along the way, you will start to see that the Wi-Fi speed is absolutely horrendous. So that's one main problem with this device. And I believe this is an issue that is ongoing with a lot of Chinese tablets out there. So hopefully it's fixed now after a few months after I unboxed this, and there are new tablets around anyways. Yeah. So Wi-Fi strength is not the best. Another thing I like to comment on is the lack of storage space. I'm going to show you here. As you can see here, you get my 64 gig SD card over there. You can see I have the 32 gigs version, and I've installed Microsoft Office as well as VLC player and two tiny games that are only 100 meg each, and I'm left with only 10.3 gigs of additional space, which is not a lot to play with. Of course, if you're not gonna use this as a gaming device or whatever, right? But the space is definitely limited, right? So that's something you have to take note of. And as I said earlier, when I was reading out the specifications, the SD card slot does not play very well if you're going to install applications or games on it. At least for me, I'm not sure why, but it doesn't work well at all. So that is one thing. Another thing I would like to point out is that the tablet temperature rises quite quickly, especially if you're going to charge and use it. So do take note for power users out there that actually want to use this as your main device, and then you're going to charge it a lot. do try to find a environment that is cooler and not like under hot weather or whatever, and then you charge it with your power bank, because it's going to degrade the battery. Definitely going to degrade battery because it gets quite hot. The device get quite hot when in load anyways. In terms of battery life, now we're talking about battery, it is decent, right? It's not particularly great as compared to say the other tablet, the Android tablet that I've reviewed previously, which is a Xiaomi Mi Pad. It is, I guess, it's decent enough. I don't have enough information or enough knowledge or experience with other Windows tablets to actually comment on this, but I'm going to read out to you some numbers that I have here. So I use this device and it managed to pull out about 2 hours of light workload. When I say light workload, I was browsing the net, I was typing the review, that was about 2 hours, and then I went to watch a movie on this particular device for another 2 hours. That's heavier workload, definitely. And it had another 6 hours of standby thereabout, so a total of 10 hours before the battery started to die. So that's pretty decent, I guess. But for lightweight devices or atom-based devices, I'm not too sure whether that's good enough. But 4 hours of usage is definitely good enough for me. I believe you can put on a total of 5 or 6 hours of use. And that's much better than most laptops that you get nowadays. So that is something that you might want to take note of. In terms of the battery life, it is decent for now. I may update my review in the coming weeks or months when I get to play with more Windows tablets. But for now, it is pretty decent in my opinion. So I've talked about the camera already. Horrendous. And I slipped my mind, and we'll talk about the build quality and the design now. You can see here, this looks like an iPad, right? So I don't know whether is it just inspiration from the iPad or it's just pure imitation. It's up to you to decide, but hey, I'm fine by it, right? It works well. But well, the design is very common and uninspiring. I would say that it is built very well. I'm very impressed with this particular device. You know, when you hold it, there's this heft to it. There is this the back, it feels really nice to the touch, and everything just feels sturdy, right? I brought it to with me along to school, back and forth, and yeah, it is a very decently built device. And considering the price, I guess it's really value for money. In terms of the materials that you're getting and the hardware that's packed inside as well. So now to the exciting stuff, right? You want to know about the gaming performance. So to show you how it performs, I'll just start by saying that it can run games such as like Crysis and Borderlands. I've seen videos on YouTube that people run those games a bit lower graphical setting. But today I'm going to show you. What you're going to see now is some of the smaller games, like arcade games and whatnot, and it runs very smoothly. So I'll do a jump cut right into it, and I'll get back once it is done. Right, sorry for the poor quality for this section. I have to switch to my action camera, as you can see the wide angle lens, to actually film this part, because I had to make the tablet stand and use the keyboard. If not, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate anything at all, because after all, this works something like a laptop, so it has to be standing like that, and the camera angle with my DSLR wouldn't work properly or work effectively. So here it is. So what I'm going to show you now is two simple games. As you can see, I'm logged into Steam already, a full-fledged Steam account, full Steam installed on this device. And from other YouTube videos, I believe that other tablets that are running the Intel Atom Z3735, which this particular tablet is running, you can see other people's video on like Crysis and whatnot. Albeit is a bit laggy. I'm going to show you some games that can run very smoothly. All the lower graphically, not so graphically intensive games will run perfectly fine. Two games here. You can see here Nightmare Tower and Lufterus. So we're going to play Nightmare Tower first. You can see all these games are installed on the device itself, but the one main problem I have with this playing games with this is that the amount of storage space you have on this tablet is so little. You cannot install it on the SD card. I tried it before, and even applications I tried installing on the SD card, and it just the programs or applications wouldn't run properly, right? So here is Nightmare Tower. So I'm just gonna show you how smooth it is. Oh yeah, I've forgotten, there's no touch for this particular game. Alright. Now the part I'm not sure why it always lags. It's like the keyboard lags a little bit. That's my Bluetooth keyboard. Otherwise, you can see that it is very smooth. Now the video I'm looking at the feed right now appears to be a little bit sluggish, but that is all due to the camera that I'm using right now. So yeah, there's some lagging issues over there, but it is running extremely smooth on this particular device, the Onda V975W. Right, we'll play it a little while longer. Okay, I died. Very good. So I can show you the next game now. As you can see, so it works perfectly fine, which is really cool. You know, it's like a tablet, but it's a tablet with everything. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Now I'm just gonna show you quickly another game, and then we'll move on from this. I don't recommend you buying this tablet just to game, but if you would want to game, I'm showing you that you can, obviously. So yep. Okay, now I'm not very good at this game, so do not comment much. Okay, I got hit already. Okay, I hit this. Okay, gotta recover some health. Now I hit these submarines below, it's really hard to kill. And I got one. I believe there's one there as well. Oh shit. I will soon have to recover some health. Oh, look at that. Oh shit. Oh god. Okay, you gotta recover some health. As you can see, it's really smooth. How much do I have to kill this? Okay, I died. Alright, so that's it. Very loud. Oh god. So yeah, so that's the gaming performance. Very smooth. Sorry for the poorer footage and it's slightly laggier because the camera isn't so good. So yeah, we'll go back to the other angle and we'll wrap up the review, I suppose. Alright, so you can see that the game that I played are pretty smooth. Pardon the camera, the action camera might seem a little bit sluggish, but on the device itself, when I was playing, it is extremely smooth, and that's pretty impressive. I'm very impressed. And so for those of you who actually want to buy this for gaming, I'm not too sure why, but yeah, you can definitely play some of the lighter games here, no problem at all. The main problem that I believe that you face is the lack of storage space. So if you're going to install like a larger game, say Crisis or something like that, obviously all your space is gonna be gone, so you only can play one game at a time, so you have to take note of that. Now before we end, I would like to talk about the official and community support. Officially, they only have a Chinese forum and it's pretty active. They do have a lot of drivers on their website as well that you can download, and they do update it for the later device and try to make it compatible and whatnot. So that's what they have going for them. Onda seems to be pretty on toes, right? On the ball. Sorry, on the ball in terms of updates and whatnot. There are a few unofficial communities out there, English communities out there that are supporting the device as well. So you can go to there to get support and whatnot. So it's pretty good. In terms of accessories and peripherals, if you search online, there are peripherals such as cases and whatnot that are designed for a range of Onda devices, because they come out with a lot of variants, right? The tablet variants. So they do have a few that covers a range of their devices. Besides that, you can basically use any generic kind of thing, such as the Bluetooth keyboard case that I'm using is for any tablets below 10.1 inch, so you can use that as well. There is no problem whatsoever. It's a pretty standard size device, so you're gonna find your accessories and peripherals that are for such devices, such sized devices, to work perfectly fine. So I guess now it's time to conclude. Would I recommend this device? Yes, if you need a lightweight Windows tablet. No, if you want to have all your applications that are Windows based, like your Microsoft Word, and you want to play some Microsoft Windows platform based games, this is great. I mean, there's nothing to complain about. It is cheap. I wouldn't say it's cheap, but it's definitely value for money. We have, of course, lower end tablets such as the HP Stream, I believe, Stream 7, but that has only 1 gig of RAM and it's much less powerful as compared to this. Everything runs smoothly. The web browsing, I am able to stream videos on YouTube, on Twitch and whatnot, and everything works perfectly fine. So yeah, it's a very value for money. If you need one to bring around to take notes and whatnot, I would definitely recommend it. In terms of design, it's not the best, but build quality is decent, and the performance is pretty awesome as well. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, do let me know. Leave it in the comments section. I'll try to reply to as many as I can, and I hope to see you guys again very soon.